Let's take a look at the TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. Now this is the non-math print version I'm showing you here. If you're wondering what in the world I'm referring to, if you were to do a second plus and then do an inner on about, some calculators have math print on them for the TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. And you see the MP, that's math print. Now, if you want to shut it off, if that's causing you headaches in your class, you go to Mode, and you go down to your second page. So you keep down arrowing down, and you'll see Math Print, and you'll see Classic. Well, if you right arrow over and put your flashing cursor on Classic and press Enter one time, and then do Second Mode, that'll set it back to your Classic view, which is what a lot of instructors may be showing in class. Anyway, I'm going to take a look at our first problem. Y is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 6. And it says understand the graph. How vague is that? I press y equals. You press clear to clear wherever's not a line. And then I'm going to do my x key, x squared minus 5x plus 6. And I'll press graph. Now the idea on this video is not to show you how to graph. If you don't know how to graph, go over watch the graphing videos to show you how to do all those different basic functions. This is just talking about the zooming part. See how my graph is coming down? I can see a little bit of it right below the x-axis, then it's going back up. Well, maybe we want to see what's going on here. Well, if I press my zoom button, first one we're going to look at is zoom in. So I'll choose 2. It doesn't appear like it's done anything. It's waiting for us to position the cursor where we want to zoom in at. So if I do my right arrow key, move it over, put it right there, and if I do up, that's what the cursor looks like. So I'll go back down, and that's probably good there. And I'll press enter. It'll zoom in based upon where my cursor was. So that's my new center. And we should still be in zoom in mode, so each time I press enter, it'll zoom in by another factor. So it zooms in again. Now you want to make sure it comes back before you press anything else. I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to immediately press enter while it's still working. So press enter, and press enter again. I couldn't get it to do it. Let me try it one more time. Enter, and I press enter. There it goes. See these 4 little dots going in the upper right hand corner? This is never coming back. This is gone never land. If you get impatient and you press enter before it comes back, then it does that. It'll keep going until your battery goes dead or it fries electronics or something. To get it out of that, you just press enter one time or you press your on button, and that'll take it out of that. I've zoomed so much I can't even see anything anymore. To set your viewing window back to the standard viewing window, that makes sense. To zoom it back to the standard viewing window, you press zoom and then Z standard, the 6th one. You can either down arrow to it and press enter on it, or you can press the number 6 that's in front of it. And that'll set it back to your standard viewing window, which is -10 to 10 on the X and -10 to 10 on the Y. Now, next one I'm going to show you is zoom box. I like this one pretty well. If I press zoom, you see the first one says Z box. So I'll go ahead and press enter on it. Doesn't appear like it's doing anything. It's waiting for me. I'm going to press my up arrow key and left arrow key. It's waiting me to position my cursor in the upper left-hand corner where I want to box. Well, that's good right there. So I'll press enter one time. I do a down arrow. You don't have to keep pressing it over and over. You can click and hold down. Like if I click and hold down my right, see how it's going clear over. And you can move this a little bit more if you want it bigger. You can move it back if you want to make it smaller. You can move it up, down, make it bigger, smaller, so forth. Now once you get the box around what you want to zoom in, then you press enter. And it'll only zoom in based upon what you put box around. So if I press enter, it'll zoom in just on that. Very nice feature. Zoom box gives you total control over what you want to see, which is what I like on the calculator. Well, to set it back, remember you do zoom, and we want to choose Z standard. So I press 6. Okay. Now our second one we're going to take a look at is y is equal to x squared minus 400. So press y equals, clear, x squared minus 400, and then we'll press graph. Okay, I don't see anything on my screen. Well, I can choose zoom, and I can choose zoom out. So I press 3. Again, it doesn't actually do anything. It's waiting for you to position your cursor, and right there at the origin, 0, 0 is fine. So I just go ahead and press enter one time. And it's zooming out by one factor. And again, each time I press zoom, it'll zoom out by another factor. So if I press zoom, enter again, it zooms out by another factor. Press enter again, it zooms out by another factor. Now at some point, as you keep pressing enter, you're not going to see your graph anymore. All you're going to see is something that looks like this. So these have limited limited effectiveness. You know, it's what the only thing you can have with this calculator. Anyway, to set it back, you do zoom and you choose Z standard. So I do 6. There's another way to change your window settings. If I actually go to this button that says window, see how it says -10, 10, 1, -10, 10, 1. This is setting your viewing window. It's going from -10 on your X, -10, 10 on your Y. Well, I could change this to -30. Change this to +30. Now you can see a preview on the emulator here, and you can see there's a lot of tick marks. Well, I could change this tick marks to go by 6s. So I do enter on that. And now, if I press graph, this far left tick mark is -30. This far right tick mark is +30. It's going by 6s. -30, -24, -18, -12, -6, 0, 6, 12, 18, 24, 36. So again, you can manually adjust that. A little bit of a danger here, though, if I press window. Instead of that, let me put in 50. And you may see a problem. Your X min is greater than your X max. And if I press graph, I'm going to get this error, window range. And you press enter on that. Well, anytime you have any kind of zooming issues, you zoomed out, zoomed in too much, if you've screwed up your window settings somehow, to fix any of that, you press zoom, and then you press 6 for Z standard. And that'll set you back to your standard viewing window. And that's zooming on a TI-84 Plus Silver Edition.